Hey, how's it going, guys? Benny Childs, founder of the Teach Me to Fish Effects trading community, and I'm back with another market forecast video. This is the market forecast for Sunday, September 19th, 2021, and we're going to go ahead and get right into it. But before we do, let me speak this affirmation over you because I want you to be not only profitable traders, but profitable in life. And so that is why it is my hope that large sums of money come to you easily and quickly in increasing quantities from multiple sources on a continual basis in the best interest of all, that you get to keep, use, and give and spend joyously. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into this. We're going to start out with the Dixie. All right, we're going to start out with the US dollar currency index. And based on our 4 hour, let's take a look to see what we're doing here. Let's give us a little bit more screen real estate here. Uh, okay, so currently we based on the 4 hour, we have been in this downtrend here, and it looks as if we're starting to turn around here. Uh, let's let me close this out. Okay, let's do this for you guys. Let's pull up our trend line here. If I could get the screen to operate properly. All right, so we have been in this downtrend, correct? Okay, we can see where we have been in this downtrend. We came down and touched on this institutional demand zone here, and we had a pop out, came back in to retest, popped that out to test this institutional supply zone, and it came back. But essentially, what it looks like we're doing based on the 4 hour, it looks like the market is starting to turn around. Okay. Now we will get, based on my trading strategy, I will consider this a complete turnaround when we get a complete break of this institutional supply. Okay, so but as of right now, based on the 4 hour, we are in this institutional supply right here. Here, let's go ahead and reorient this. We are in this institutional supply. So whenever I am in supply, I my initial bias is to be looking for sales. Okay, and so of course we will look for sales, but however we have to keep in mind what our overall picture is. Okay, and based on the 4 hour, we had this downtrend. Okay, the trend was broken and then retested, and the extra confluence is that we were sitting here on this weekly demand, and now we can see that the market is attempting to push up. We did have a break of structure here. Okay, we put our line right here. We can see where we actually did get a break of structure. Again, based on the 4 hour. And so what does that tells us? It tells us that this structure is weakening. Okay, because it did pop up, but it came right back. Okay, it only spent a few hours uh, above uh, that high. Okay, and then it popped back down. All right. So that basically tells us that the integrity of that high is not that great. And again, overall, we can see where uh, the market is turning around here. Okay. All right. So again, whenever I am sitting in institutional supply, my initial uh, bias would be to look for sales. So, of course, I will look for sales. Now, when I say look for sales, I don't mean just pop right in and put in a sell position and hope for the best. All right. But what I'm saying is I will be looking for my confirmation. Okay. I will be looking for my confirmation and my signature setup to take the sell. However, um, I do have ways that if we do not get a sale immediately or at all, I do have ways to where uh, we could get in and still take buys even in this institutional supply. Okay. All right, guys. So that is the dollar index. Okay. So again, overall, we have seen, or it looks like this market is making a turnaround. Okay. We're not going to always get a turnaround on a dime, or, the market is not going to always turn on a dime, but this is a big ship. All right. And if you ever seen any videos or been on a ship, it takes a little while for it to turn around, or even an airplane. It just takes a little while because it's a bigger device. All right. So the market is a huge device. All right. And so it sometimes it takes it a little while to turn around. Okay. So that's what I think that's going on here. So let me leave this up here for you guys. You guys can see that. So again, this week we are sitting in what I have marked up as institutional supply for the dollar index. So again, my initial bias is to sell. However, I will be looking for my signature trade setup to get into sales. But if not, then I will be basically using price action. I have certain things that I look for as price action to ride this market up. Okay, as it's testing inside of this institutional supply, which most likely will eventually be broken, and then the dollar index will be on an uptrend. Okay. All right. And so if you guys are interested in getting those detailed breakdowns and signals, then I'm going to go ahead and plug right here that you can head over to the Teach Me to Fish Effects YouTube channel. Click on this join button here, and you can select whichever level you want to be on. If you only want to get the metal charts where you'll have access to the metal pairs that I track, and you'll also be able to get trade setup analysis. Okay, for metals, then you would do that. The same thing for crypto. If you select crypto, then you not only get access to the trade analysis and ideas for crypto, but you also get it for metals. And if you choose stock, then you're going to get the chart and trade analysis for stock, crypto, and metals. If you select profitable trader, all right, profitable trader is going to give you access to the chart analysis and ideas for everything that that I track. Okay, now these four levels right here, okay, they only include the chart analysis and trade ideas. Okay, now the professional trader, you're gonna not only get access to the chart analysis and trade ideas, but every Sunday we do a live Zoom session. Okay, we do a live Zoom session every Sunday where we go over the signature trade as well as we go over every single instrument that um, that I'm tracking, which is currently a total of 69. We have stocks, we have our indices, we have our cryptos, we have our metals, we have our energies, we have our Forex pairs, okay, and the Forex pairs are broken down into their pair category or their country category. And then if there is any other instrument that you would like to to be tracked, whether that is a stock, whether it's a crypto, whether it's a if it's a metal, and I need to add silver, go ahead and add silver in here. Whether there's a different energy, then we will add those in, and we will track those, and we will talk about those in our weekly Zoom session. So again, if you guys are interested in that, opposed to just getting the uh, list of majors, the DXY and the list of majors that I do for free here, then again, head over to the YouTube channel and select whichever one you want. This is a great value, $50 a month, that can render you thousands of dollars a month. So, but shameless plug and got, and of course, guys, again, you can see here where I do send the call outs for all of these: pound USD, Berkshire Hathaway, Swiss ZAR, Euro GBP. Okay, so you guys can see where uh, this is active. I'm actively looking and sending everything out. So all right, guys, let's go ahead and get into the back into the analysis. I apologize about that, but yeah, go ahead and check that out. All right, so now let's take a look at the Aussie USD. Let's get us some more screen real estate here. All right, so the Aussie USD, we can see here we had a nice play off of this institutional supply. Uh, Perfect. This is perfect. It tapped right in and came right out. All right. So currently the Aussie USD, we can see here, overall it is still considered an uptrend. However, we were on this or we are on this corrective channel. Let's go right here. I'm just trying to get this. We are on this corrective channel right now, in the down trend. Okay, let's go ahead and do this. All right, so we are on this corrective channel. Played perfectly, came perfectly off of this channel here, as well as this institutional supply area, and it looks like we may get some type of test down to this institutional demand. We may or may not. We may come into this area right here and get a bounce off that and head back up. But all we have to do is wait and see. Okay, but we do have strategies to get in the middle of this. We don't have to simply, just because you are a supply and demand trader, you don't have to wait for um, the market to get into your supply and demand zones. But if you know how to, you can get in the middle of this trade. Okay, and we also have signature trade setups to do that as well, that we go over in the Pro Trader mentorship. So, um, again, Australian dollar overall. Okay, we're still, based on the 4 hour, we're still in an uptrend. Okay, why are we still in the uptrend? Because this institutional demand area right here, right there, has not been broken yet. We can see where it was tested and respected. So currently, yes, we are still in an uptrend. And again, uh, based on the 4 hour, okay, based on the 4 hour, we were coming off of this supply area here and moving on down. Now, again, we did have a break of structure. The structure here was broken by this. All right. So again, what does that tell us? That the integrity of the structural high, okay, the integrity of the structural high has been compromised. Okay. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if this market were to continue on its overall uptrend, okay, again, this is just giving us a little bit of a corrective leg. Okay, now this is based on the most current price action. It looks like this market is giving us this corrective leg before continuing up. Okay, and so we may get a second retest of this institutional demand area before continuing up. Okay, now officially, um, the market, I wouldn't consider this market to officially give us the continuation of the overall uptrend until this institutional supply right here has been broken, retested, and gives us a confirmation. Okay. Um, and not to say that, once it does that, then yes, we're continuing that uptrend, but that at least lets us know that yes, the buyers have stepped in. Okay, the buyers have stepped in and totally have uh, obliterated. I'm gonna leave that one alone. But they have totally exceeded the sell orders that are sitting here. Okay, I'm gonna leave that one alone. You guys don't pick at me. Okay, all right, all right. So that is the Australian US dollar. Let's go ahead and move on. Okay, now we have the Euro USD. And again, if you remember, guys, remember what we said about the Dixie. Okay, we said again based on this 4 hour, we can tell that this market is doing what. Okay, remember we're talking about that big ship. We can tell that this market is starting to turn around. Okay, we came down here again and we came down here and tested and respected this institutional demand, created more institutional demand. Okay, broke structural highs here. Okay, um, so this again, it looks like the U.S. dollars will be biased towards longs or buys, but again, we're gonna have to see what the other pairs are doing. Okay. All right, Euro USD. I'm going to try to speed this along here. If we take a look at this, currently right now, the 4 hour is showing us that we are on an uptrend. Right now, this is pretty much, I thought I had an arrow. On here. Where are the arrows, guys? Where are the arrows here? Let's just, here we go. Currently, this market is going sideways. Okay. Ooh, I like that, guys. I think I want to add that into my favorites. Okay. But currently, this market is going sideways. Why is it going sideways? Because it is bouncing in between these two institutional supply and demand areas, respectively. Okay. Uh, okay. So currently, this market is going sideways. Okay. It's in a consolidating phase. All right. And again, this is all based on the 4 hour. I do a more in-depth top-down analysis in the live Zoom session on the pro trader level. Okay, but we're just basing this off of the 4 hour for the free version here. Okay, all right. So currently, this market is going sideways. We are sitting in institutional. We are sitting in institutional demand. Okay, so again, we will be looking for the initial bias will be longs. We'll be looking for buys. However, we will be able to get in if this market decides to continue down and uh, try and test this institutional demand that we have here. Okay. All right. All right. So that's the Euro USD. Again, we're sitting in institutional demand. So you guys want to look out, uh, for just getting in here and selling sales. You just be careful with doing that, because we are sitting in institutional demand. And again, whenever we're sitting in institutional demand, the initial bias is to be looking for long positions. So we will be looking to see if that will hold up. Again, the dollar index is showing us that it is possibly heading up, but what were we sitting in? Okay, we are sitting in institutional supply. So again, the Euro USD may end up continuing to go down, but again, on this particular pair, we're sitting in institutional demand, so we want to wait for our confirmation setups to go long on this pair. Again, overall, if we take a look at the 4 hour, the most recent price action, okay, what do we have here, guys? All right, we had a break of structure here, okay. You guys can see that right here, where this high was broken. Okay, we've also had a break of structure here. Okay, so again, I'm just showing you guys why I think we're on an uptrend just for right now. Okay, all right. So we had a break of structure here. The integrity of this high uh, was tested. Okay, it did not hold up. Okay, however, we did have the market to respect these institutional supply, or this institutional supply, not only once but two, three, four more times. Okay, before heading down. And so again, this will line us up with our analysis based on the dollar index, which basically gives us an overall view of the U.S. pairs. Okay, so this pretty much it lines up. It lines up with that it will be going in favor of uh, the USD side of the pair. Okay, so we're currently in this downtrend. Okay, but again, be careful, right? Because we are sitting in institutional demand. So of course we'll be looking for buys, but keep in mind the overall analysis of this pair. Okay. Simply put, guys, always wait for confirmation. Be patient and wait for confirmation before you get into your trades. All right, let's take a look at the pound USD. Let's see where we're sitting at with pound USD. Pound USD is currently sitting in between the institutional supply and institutional demand that I have marked up. Okay, overall, we look to be on an uptrend, respecting um, this institutional demand right here. I gotta do a better job of my circle so you guys can see what's going on. But we can see overall where we're respecting this institutional demand. And so we're pretty much just kind of ranging out, right here currently. Currently, we're pretty much ranging out here. So uh, we may be getting whipsawed just a little bit. Okay. But of course, again, we're going to wait for our confirmation trades. Whatever your confirmation trade setup is, then that is what you'll do. And what I will do, as well as the Teach Me to Fish Effects mentorship community, we will wait on our confirmation trade. So uh, we can definitely possibly see this market continue down to give us another test of this institutional demand, because again we did have uh, break of this trend line. Okay, it broke, gave us a couple of excuse me, gave us a couple of retests in these areas, and now we can kind of see it trending down. But again, it is very possible we could be trending down to give us a test of our institutional demand before heading up. Okay. All right. But again, just keep in mind about the dollar index. Okay. The dollar index is going up. So that lets us know that the USD side of our pairs, all right, are pretty much more favorable. And if that is the case for GBP USD, we could see this market to continue to go down. Okay, so it could be a case to where this market is coming up just to turn around and cut through all of these institutional demand levels. However, these demand levels are very, very strong. These are very, very strong levels. So if these levels are broken through, then you know that you're going to be on for a long, long ride. Okay, it's pound USD. Going to move right along. I don't want to hold you guys too much. Okay, NZD USD. Overall, let's take a look the overall direction based on the 4 hour chart. And again, this is only based off of the 4 hour chart. So this is a micro look at the market. All right. To get a fuller picture, you're going to need to have a macro look. Okay. And again, I go over that with the mentees. Okay, but the most current price action for the 4 hour chart, it is showing us an uptrend. Okay, and my bias is still going to be an uptrend for this particular pair. We are sitting in demand, so we may get a pop up. And but of course, we're going to wait for our signature trade set up before we get in. But again, we may get a pop up, or again, this market could be giving us the big turnaround, for the ship. Okay, I can definitely see a possible head and shoulders being formed here, where we have our head. Okay, may have a left shoulder, may have a right shoulder to develop, and this market can continue down to support our analysis on the DXY. But again, we are seeing an institutional demand. So of course, my initial bias is going to be for buys unless some other things happen. In which, if they do happen, then myself and the community, we will be prepared to get in to take this thing short. All right, to make sure that we're grabbing our pips. So, all right, that's the NZD USD. Again, 4 hour is showing that we have been on the uptrend. We are respecting this institutional demand area. So, of course, initially we're going to be looking for buys. However, uh, we have our setups in mind that we can take these short and still bring in some profits for the upcoming week. All right, USD CAD. Okay, USD CAD. If we take a look at the most recent 4 hour price action, we can see that we were in a downtrend. However, uh, supporting our Dixie analysis. That's why I always start with the Dixie when I do these forecasts for the U.S. major pairs, is because that will generally give us our bias for the rest of the pairs. But we can see where this market had been trending down and it turned around on us. Okay, gave us a pretty big turn, right? All right, still pretty big turn. The for me the it won't have officially turned until we get a break of this institutional supply, this red institutional supply. If we get a break of that right here, then for me officially, the market would have turned. Now, would that be for a long term or short term? We don't know because we don't predict the market. We react to the market. You guys know I've been preaching and saying that for years. We react to the market. We don't try to predict the market. Okay. But again, this pair is coming up to it is coming up uh, again to this institutional supply area. We can see here where this price action has just been faking us out, right? It popped here, came down, popped back up, came down. Looks like it's gonna pop back up again. It may come down just a little bit before again totally getting rid of this institutional supply, and in which case if it does that, then again it's gonna let me know that this market has turned around. It is going in favor of the US dollar, which in turn goes in favor with our DXY analysis. But again, as always, I'm coming up to institutional supply. So, of course, my initial bias will be shorts or sell positions. However, I'm going to wait for my confirmation setup for those sales positions. And if we don't get that, then we'll be looking to take this pair long in favor of the US dollar as price action plays out to again possibly give us that complete turnaround. Okay, and if we can get into that at the right moment, like I'm envious of anybody who played off of this institutional demand right here and you're still holding. I'm very envious of you. Awesome analysis, awesome trade, and I know you're profiting like crazy right now. Okay, but if we can get in around here, we may be able to hold that, man, if we can actually get this thing to come up and break and hold the break of this institutional supply and maybe give us a turncoat zone, then oh man, we're looking for good days. But as forex traders, it really doesn't matter. We trade the market both ways, whether it's up or down, or we trade the market all three ways: up, down, or consolidation. All right. All right, moving right along, USD Swiss. Okay, same thing. The market had been trending down. Okay, we're kind of getting this turnaround, right, of the market. Okay, look at this, guys. This has done exactly what I have been talking about. Okay, we've turned around. Okay, we've turned around. Okay, had respected this institutional demand right here. Okay, respected it, gave us an institutional supply, came down, broke through it, broke through it, broke through it. So now what? So now what am I waiting on? I'm sorry, I'm getting excited. But we broke through it. So now what will we be waiting on? We will be waiting on our confirmation, right? We're waiting on our confirmation that this particular institutional supply will hold up as a turncoat and give us our demand. All right. And of course, teach me to fish. You guys, Minty community, you guys know that what we're looking for. All right. You guys know exactly what we're looking for. But it did just that. It did just that. This is already turned around for us, going in favor of our U.S. pair, which is in confluence with our analysis for the dollar index. Okay, we're just waiting for confirmation for this to come back and be tested, which it won't be this same zone. It will be the new institutional zone that has formed. We'll be waiting for confirmation of that new institutional zone so we can take our longs from here and get in as quick as possible so we can have room in our accounts to kind of watch this thing ride up and hopefully break all of these institutional supplies, and it just kind of gives us a really great opportunity for some profits and growing our accounts. So USD Swiss, again, it has already broken through this institutional supply. Of course, we're going to be looking for the newly formed institutional demand, which is not the same zone, but we'll be going over that in our weekly Zoom session tomorrow. But we'll be looking to take buys on this. So my bias is a buy on the USD Swiss. Okay. And last but not least, USD JPY. Let's see most recent price action. This thing looks like it has pretty much just been going sideways. We are on, yeah, this thing has pretty much been going sideways for a while. Okay. Yes, we've been having some pretty good impulsive moves, going down, one there, impulsive move, going here. Okay, but it looks like again it's pretty much been going sideways, and we are currently sitting in institutional supply. So of course we'll be looking to take some sales on that, but we did have some pretty good respecting of this institutional demand area here. So I wouldn't be surprised if this market, as choppy as it is, I wouldn't be surprised for this market just to continue up on the upside. Okay. Eventually give us this break of this institutional demand here, which will pretty much tell us that this market is on an uptrend. It has moved from its consolidation phase and now it's in its uptrend phase. But again, we have had the respecting of institutional demand. So to be honest with you, I think we do have early signs that the USD JPY pair um, is breaking or is getting ready to break out of its consolidation phase and go into an uptrend phase. Okay, but again, right now we are sitting in institutional supply, so the initial bias would be a sell. But again, remember our analysis for the DXY, and that was that boat, that train, that airplane rather, was doing its turn to go up, and so we're gonna go in favor of the U.S. side of the pair, and so we're gonna be again, yeah, we may be able to take some quick scalps what this market may produce this upcoming week, and further in the future, it may produce some quick short scalps, some short position scalps. But ultimately, again, I think that this pair is turning around to give us our buy position, maybe for the rest of the year. Who knows? But just be on the lookout for that. Okay. All right, guys. So that is going to be it for this free weekly forecast for the YouTube channel with the dollar index and these U.S. major pairs that I have selected here. Again, if you guys are interested in getting a full breakdown as well as getting access to the weekly Zoom session, then again, head over to the YouTube channel, click the join button, whether you're on mobile or on desktop. If you want to get access to everything, get access to the Zoom session and the trading lessons, okay, then you're going to need to sign up for the professional trader. However, if you just want to follow the charts for every single instrument, then you want to select the profitable trader. Then from there, if you're only interested in trading uh, some particular instruments, then you can select your level. You can select your level here. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys for viewing. If you're not a subscriber yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So and make sure you click the bell notification so that you can be alerted whenever I go live or whenever I post a video. Okay. Again, if you want to be a part of the mentorship community and get a total breakdown of every single instrument, and if you would also like to add in other instruments, then sign up. Okay. And again, not only if you sign up on a Pro Trader, but not only do you get access to this full list as well as the weekly Zoom session where we can talk uh, as a community as a whole about this, but I also I share a little bit with you guys about setting up your stock portfolios, what you should have, what you should have in your portfolio to make sure your stock portfolio is growing and you're preparing yourself for your future. All right, guys. Again, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you like this video, comment below, and if you're not a subscriber to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. All right, guys. Until next time, always remember, if you stay in God, I promise you, you will stay in control. Happy pip fishing. Bye-bye.